All right, shalom, shalom, koholoyim la, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak double honors to my elders and my apostles of Great Millstone, which are the men that rule well and the men that taught us this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect as always. And I got a scripture of the day, all right, January 17th, 2024, hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, man, and scripture today comes from the book of Tobit, man, and just because I was reading, I just opened up my sword today on my lunch break, and I was reading the Salakia. I was reading a little bit of Tobit, and this is just, a scripture that stuck with me and has always stuck with me since reading it. The book of Tobit has a lot of gems in it. It speaks a little bit about the kingdom and many different, good pieces of advice that Tobit gave to Tobias, his son, Tobit being the father of Tobias. And he gave Tobias, his son, a lot of advice, in the book of Tobit, and a lot of beautiful things and a lot of beautiful wisdom that comes from the book. And, Lord will, I'll reread it, maybe just, make lessons out of it. But nonetheless, scripture of the day, Tobit 12:8, because, a lot of gems, like I said, a lot of gems are in the book of Tobit. And I have one precept for you, all right, which I'll probably bring more through the spirit. I got a few that just came to mind. We'll see though. But nonetheless, Tobit 12:8, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold, right? Because what? Prayer is good with fasting and alms with righteousness, and alms and righteousness. So prayer is good with fasting. The scriptures say the prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Let's get that real quick. That's immediately what I was thinking about. Yep. Sirach 35:17. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. Right? Because when you're fasting, right? Well, for one, prayer is the first sign of faith and humility. All right, which is prayer has been a hot topic in my life right now, man. Me personally, in my walk right now, man. I'm crying to the Lord every single day, to get me out of certain situations, just in daily life. No, nothing that's an emergency, but just praying for a better living situation, praying for a better financial situation, praying for a better for more spiritual stamina, different things like that, So, prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. When you pray and you fast, it's a sign of humility. When you fast, you're humbling yourself. The same way how Esther, all right, or Hadassah, which is her Hebrew name, when she made the lamentation for her people, she fasted. She even put dung on her head when you read the editions of Esther. If I'm not mistaken, she did a lot of things to show forth the humility, but she prayed and fasted. That's a perfect example of one of our family members, all right, because she is of our kindred, all right, that prayed and fasted. All right, various others, Daniel, when you read the book of Daniel did a fast where he ate no bread. I believe he ate no bread and no meats. He was eating, the herbs, things like that. All right, many other examples. Yahweh Shai, the greatest example of all. Yahweh Shai fasted 40 days, 40 nights. And, he was praying and fasting. Okay, it says, prayer is good with fasting, right? Because prayer, you pair it with the fasting, especially if it's something serious, you got to fast, and you pray and you fast. You don't just fast just to fast. You pray and fast, right? And alms and righteousness, which alms doesn't necessarily have to be money. It can be, which is nothing wrong with that. I was thinking about this when I was actually reading this, how, sometimes a brother might not be able to give you, some time, but, if he could help you out financially, there's nothing wrong with it as well. I know some brothers have real busy schedules. Some brothers work, 12, 16 hours a day. Not every single day, but, sometimes, bros got to put in that OT, and ain't nothing wrong with helping a brother out financially and things like that. All right, and righteousness, of course, righteousness right now is faith in Yahweh Shai. So all a prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. These are all things that we are to partake in. We're all going to pray. We're all going to fast. We're all going to give alms. And we're all going to, try to be as righteous as possible, which right now, according to pursuing to Romans 3:21 and on, what righteousness right now is faith in Yahweh Shai. It says a little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness, right? And that's very true, man. It's better for you, all right? It's better for you to know a little with righteousness, all right, than to know a lot with no righteousness, okay? That's one thing about serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It's better for you to be humble, all right, and to try to do right than for you to be, proud and wicked, but you got the knowledge. Like, nah, man, you got examples of men out there that are, quote unquote on fire, but they ain't being righteous. That's nothing to the Lord, All right, you going live, 2 times a day, but you treated the men of the Lord, a certain way, and brothers elders have talked about these different people that have done things like that. Those are just examples of what not to be. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. So it's better for you to, do a small amount with righteousness than to do a lot while being unrighteous. Okay, those are just examples of this, right? Because and it's better to have. Let's say you don't have the biggest, this is just an example. Let's say you don't have the biggest income, but your main priority is serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's better than being a wealthy man that doesn't seek the Lord. Okay? It's way better. Okay? It says it is better to give alms than to lay up gold. Right? Because at the end of the day, and there ain't nothing wrong, it doesn't mean don't save your money now. All right? But at the end of the day, it is better for you, all right, to be able to give alms and give to a brother in need than to just store it away for yourself. All right. So yeah, it's better for you to give than to just store it away. Because what? At the end of the day, none of the thing we, like it says in the book of Nehemiah, I believe, it's Nahum, Salakia, where we earn wages to put it into a bag with holes, man. All right. So at the end of the day, man, part of being an Israelite is being selfless. Look up that word. All right. It's about doing good unto your neighbor, which right now our neighbor is, your fellow man that's serving next to you, the believers, that's your neighbor right now. Okay. Because what? Our whole purpose is to what? Serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And, love is to love your brother. Yahweh Shai said the 2 greatest commandments, on this hang all the law, serve the Lord. Let me get that actually, and I'll leave you with that. I know it's in Matthew. Is this one in Matthew? Yep. I knew it was Matthew 22. Matthew 22 and 37. Yahweh Shai said unto him, thou shalt love... 36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahweh Shai said unto him, thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And that's what this touches on as well, man, through the Spirit. Because prayer and fasting, that's for the Most High. That's not really something that you do. Well, you can obviously pray and fast for somebody else, but that's something, a show of faith and humility that you give to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai specifically. You don't pray to your brother. You could pray for your brother to the Lord. You see? But what? That second part, it is better to give alms than to lay up gold. That's for your brother. Just to tie it in through the Spirit, man, on these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Essentially meaning that when you keep those 2 things, you'll inevitably keep the rest of the law. Because if you love your brother, you won't commit adultery on them. If you love the Lord, you won't commit adultery on him through, spiritual fornication or spiritual adultery. So that's the scripture of the day, man. Tobit 12 and 8. I hope I sparked something in the spirit and your spirit, all right, to motivate you maybe to make the lesson. And I hope that I edified you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem HaKadosh. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to my elders and apostles of great millstone, which are the men that rule well and that taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect as always. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.